Giria has white pieces, and
yes, sorry.
it seems that again we are meeting Queen's Indian.
So many Queen's Indians here.
Yeah, yesterday, I mean, it was chose by Leko against Topalov. Today we can see also it was a choice of Goriachkina. So I mean, it seems very popular on this European Club Cup. Even we don't see so many Greenfields. I mean, Greenfield defense we don't see so often as Queen's Indian, so which is basically more solid opening, of course. B3, bishop b7, again everything very normal, and this is old line again, bishop d2, a5. It is worth to mention that actually here after g3 black plays bishop b7, bishop g2, bishop b4. Now we can see a little bit differences between bishop d2 when black plays a5, castle, castle, and now after bishop g5. This is the main line, or knight c3. If we compare this position, let's say here, where we see that pawn is on b2, exactly here pawn is on b3, and this can be actually
that is good thing for white.
okay, black can play like this. First of all, sometimes he gets the square a3 for bishop if knight comes to c3. Also, a4 can be useful counterplay at some point, just to change some pieces and so on. However, white has extra tempo b3, so she is now trying to use it, because when the pawn is on b2 in this variation, then it's always possible for black to play d6, a3, bishop c3, and now after knight bd7, let's say some move queen c2, knight e4, white is forced to go to e1.
And
for
now,
example,
in that position,
yeah,
can go to b2. Yes.
Yeah, exactly what happened in the game. a3, bishop c3, knight bd7, very normal, bishop b2, bishop e4, again something typical. We can expect here this typical plan for black is to play c6 and d5, or c6 and b5. Sometimes even queen goes to b8 and b7 to increase the pressure on G2. On G2. On other side, the typical plan for white, which also we can expect, is actually to play bishop h3 move, with idea to play knight d2 next. Bishop f3, ef3 is structure which is maybe not so well for black, but here also after ef3 d5 would be some option, and then to play c6 and just waiting in this position. This is quite rich position with strategical ideas. So we will see now after d5, even a4 is possibility
later, yes.
Later on, because pawn is on a3. So let's see what will be the decision now of Giria. She already played bishop h3, so it seems that we will see bishop f3. I think that otherwise it's very tough for black. Yeah, because after knight d2, for example, if black would play move like h6, then after knight d2, bishop is now even have chance to go to h7. But however, let's say bishop h7, white will play f3 and d4. And now
it's tough position for black. Yes.
Yeah, okay. This looks very good for white. So I think before we go for to check Nona match of current first ranked team Nona, we'll take a short break, couple of minutes, and then we will be back with you, and still in women's section.
Okay. So
And
we are
we're
back.
Yeah.
So we can check again Stefanova against Kosteniuk, because I think Kosteniuk played
Let's
exactly move we were talking
see.
about.
Knight c3, knight d5, and rook b1. Very nice choice actually. It seems that both of them are.
We didn't consider this.
Yeah, we did not speak a lot about this move. Rook b1 has actually good idea, because now
On b5.
yeah, to protect on b5 after taking on c3, which is logical. bc3, let's say queen c3. Now, since rook is not on a1, white can even go for the endgame. So also this is very interesting, because now queen d2, king d2, and here actually white has nice trick, because cd4 is losing to bishop b8.
And bishop d7.
And after rook b8 there is one more check, bishop d7. And now basically king d7, rook b8, and white would have exchange up. And this would be this would be very bad for Alexandra. So I think that if she takes on c3, bc3, queen c3, that after queen d2, king d2, it doesn't look really nice for black, actually, because you have problems with this direct threat bishop b8. Also, you did not develop pieces. I guess that knight c6 looks at least a little bit passive, because I mean after bishop c6, dc6, even now 95 looks like white can push here.
I can take
d4
and c5.
Yeah, cd4, ed4, c5, and now it will be interesting to see basically can Antonetta use the fact that she developed all the pieces. The king is in center. She has pressure on b line. Only thing which is actually some kind of advantage for black is a better pawn structure, and possibly to use not just as defensive resource, but also as a chance to get some attack, is this bishop pair.
But also this king on d2 can be in some moments in
course,
problem.
it can be vulnerable.
Bishop a6, bishop b7, castle, and
exactly, bishop pair can be very strong in this position.
so okay, we can check now Nona against this club,
the Stuken
Jahers, yes.
Yeah. So let's see, the first
Nona
board
is favorite here in this match, but
yeah, the first board is
all players here playing.
We can see Jagnidze Nada against Hastane. Yeah. So yesterday Jagnidze has had white pieces. Today also she has white pieces, and this is the reason. Since since in if I remember, in the second and third round she has 2 times in a row black pieces on the first board. She played it.
So.
Since she won against Gunina, and she made a draw with Stefanova.
Yes,
so
yes. With
let's see the game. Yeah. d4, knight f6. This is what Nana was playing yesterday.
I just wanted to say that Nana is only player in women's section with 4 out of 4.
No, but she has one draw with Stefanova.
Sorry, Kosteniuk is, but Kosteniuk is playing on second
board,
but she has 4 out of 4. Sorry, it's my
so g3, bishop g7, bishop g2. Yesterday we saw this. Yesterday we saw exactly this position, and Ushenina played setup with c6 and d5. Today we are finally having one game in fianchetto variation of King's Indian defense. So castle, castle, d6, all main moves, c4, knight bd7, and now b3. Maybe not. This is not the main line. I mean, b3, e5, actually at least bishop b2. From different move order, Kramnik would play, for example, knight c3, and after e5, b3 here. Since now e4 is less dangerous, knight g5, and now basically black is losing pawn. After b3, e5, bishop b2, I think that Anna should think about e4 move to play like this, or for example, just to maybe rook e8 is here. Yeah, I'm not so sure. Is it possible actually to play? I guess it is, because after d, knight e5, it would be very nice trick to take a pawn after knight e5, queen d8, rook d8, and bishop e5. But point is that after knight e5, she can maybe get this knight g4 counter attack, and I don't see a way white would defend bishop on b2 instead of playing f4, which would now cause maybe some other problems, not just with knight e3, but positionally this is not so good position for white. I mean, it's not so good to have this bishop on b2 and big pawn on e2. However, ed4, I think this is a not so good decision, and it seems that Nana exactly catch her opponent in this variation.
Probably she prepared this this variation.
Yeah, now the main problem is that pawn is not on e4. Usually we have this pawn on e4 for white, and when the pawn is on e4, it means that black has some counterplay, always attacks it. Well, now we can see that pawn is not on e4, so
so it's good thing for white.
Yeah, black plays everything according to scheme, to normal setup, but what to attack on e4. I think that already here rook d2, rook e8, this looks like slightly pleasant, slightly better, more pleasant for white for sure. Since h3 will happen, I guess that now Nana is thinking whether she will immediately play rook fd1 or maybe first h3 move. Of course, still nothing is really decided, so it's just more pleasant position for white and for Nana. So
let's check second board.
Yeah, she exactly played h3 actually, just to say in meantime. So we'll now wait for a move from Hast. Yeah. Okay. So second board is
Kotinashvili against
De Jong. Yeah, De Jong, Bucher and Bianca. Yes. Yeah. So
okay, say that again.
De Jong, Bucher and Bianca. Yeah. I know Bianca actually. So I remember her, I think from one European Championship, and there was a sister Bensdorp, if I remember. They were there. They were playing for the team. So yeah. Okay, let's switch back for game. Today Bianca has white pieces against Kotinashvili. Bella, I think Bella is playing really good here. Yeah, maybe she's also 3.5. She has 3.5 out of 4 or something like this.
She lost one game, I think, against Kostenyuk.
Okay, okay. So let's see.
If I'm right,
yeah. You are in right. You are in right. So let's see. E4, E5.
But she is playing good this tournament. She's not.
Now this is 4 knights opening, and it's not particularly dangerous for black, but of course d4, e4, knight d4, bishop b4, all main moves. But now after bishop d3, castle, rook e8 is actually not main move. Of course d5 is main move, and now after ed, cd, h3 is actually one of the possible lines. Bishop e7, queen f3 played. This is a line which has been played a couple of times on the highest level, and it was, if I remember well, maybe 2 years or 3 years ago, Van Hao beat Anand in last round of tournament in Vaikanze. So after that, even it became more and more popular line, and also Andreikin is one of the players who likes to play it with white pieces. However, rook e8 is interesting choice, because now what black wants to do is to wait for d5 move and basically stopping e5. So this pawn will actually come to d6. It's possible to play, and also it should be like...
So how should white continue?
I think bishop g5 is the best move with what was played by Bianca, and now if I remember, there should be some idea possible to transfer this bishop to d4. Now exactly, okay, h6 happened, bishop h4, and now maybe it's time was for d6 here. I'm not exactly sure, but maybe d6 is here actually right move. Because in 2000, I'm trying to remember, 2013 there was similar position played in a game between, it was played with black pieces by Ivan Šarić, and I cannot remember now who played. Filipov, Anton Filipov was had white pieces, and something happened with very fast g5 in this position. Now exactly maybe it's not that position, but just as the idea. Rook b8 does not seem to be really good move, because f4, bishop e7, queen f3, d5. I mean, somehow I would prefer white pieces here, because it seems that Bella did not get this d6 setup.
And I'm just looking, she was thinking.
Yeah, she spent on last two moves 25 minutes. But also Bianca spent some almost 19 minutes on 12th move. So let's see, queen f3, d5. Bella is still. No, there was played one move, I think. No, Bianca is thinking. Sorry, and I think that e5 should be normal option here for white. And now after e5, okay, we can expect moves like knight g4 or knight d7. Knight d7 does not look particularly healthy, because after bishop e7, queen e7, now it's basically this pawn on b2 is maybe not so important. You can get some strong mating attack. I guess that even
like bishop, rook
no,
e1.
just rook a1, rook b2, and moving king to h1. And now, yeah, that's the problem, because after knight c5, actually f5 is coming, and now you have this two strong pawns, sorry, and f6 is next move also. Now here it's not so easy, maybe even to give some smart advice for black, because obviously that also knight f8 will be met with the same idea. f5 is not possible to play with with black pieces, and now, okay, some waiting moves like rook b6. I'm not really a big fan of it. So no, because it already looks very, very dangerous. I mean,
yes.
f5 looks to be. I mean, next move I can even play queen g3 and f5. e6 is also possible. So, and even now, even this maybe it's. Some idea, but maybe it's just too much after queen f6, some queen g3, there is queen g5 actually, so maybe after rook b6 just queen g3 and threatening f5 and then yeah, not just, yeah, as f5 and d6, basically black cannot do anything with this extra pawn, c6 and d5, he cannot move it, because
and this bishop on c8 is,
yeah, it's just out of game. I mean, and for example d4, knight d4, now one more piece is going into attack, and also c4 square is now possible for bishop and to push pawn to e6.
So d5,
yeah,
d4 is
not so good, but
I don't know.
Maybe it's just after queen g3, maybe some bishop a6, but it does not look promising for.
This
yeah, problem is that after bishop a6, now you have to count always about f5.
f5 and f6.
Yeah, f6 is next threat, and if you have to play move like queen g5 and now leaving some e6, f6 possible, also later, we will see, but it looks quite promising position for Bianca. So let's see, maybe she played something, no, she's thinking, so we'll see for after some time what will happen. I think it's already, we can go back to
open section.
Yeah, to open section to see maybe other boards in top matches. So let's see on the first match. Let's see on third board game between Caruana and Grishchuk. So this is of course always interesting game. I mean, so let's see now what is happening. Again, Berlin Wall. I mean. What to say? E4, E5, yeah, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, knight f6. I mean, castle, knight e4, and all of this we saw with, already in previous rounds. Main line d5, knight f5, queen d8, king d8, knight c3, king e8, h3, h5. Okay, this is all main line. So. Knight e2, b6. Long time ago, I had one game in this line with black pieces. I played against Shirov. At the end, it was draw. It was game on Olympiad in Dresden. And if I remember, when I was preparing for the game, actually knight e2, b6 was played by Magnus Carlsen at that point, and it was not so. it was not so investigate move already, and it was just something like new line. I was not so sure what is happening. Yeah, it seems this bishop g5. I mean, I remember that there was this idea that after that in one of the positions you want to play like bishop a6, and then after c3 that sorry, rook fe1, you want to play bishop b4 in order to force the c3 to get d3 square later on. Now it's not, I think, exactly the same position, but just as possible idea. However, after bishop g5, Caruana spent 29 minutes on next move bishop b7, so maybe it was actually this bishop a6. Maybe it's exactly how the line is going. Yeah, and bishop b7, rook a d1, bishop e7, and now also Grischuk started to use some time for thinking or walking before Zeitnot, because we for now it seems that Grischuk plays very fast. Yeah, for his style. So after bishop e7, now we are waiting for move of Fabiano. It's possible that he's now counting what is happening after king e7, because usually here white has two options. Either knight will come to d4, although I'm not really believing in this position. I don't think that here black should have some problems, because c5 will come really fast. If white would have already f4, f5, it would be dangerous. I expect maybe move knight f4 in this position. And knight is going to g5. This is typical setup. Also, this e6 is now unpleasant threat since rook is on h8. So this would be the importance to attack pawn on f7. And actually, if we would move pawns like f7 and e5, if white achieved to exchange it, not just that he will have this 3-on-2, which is much healthier, but he will get e5 square for knight. So I guess that after knight f4 now, problem is that maybe rook hd8 is not possible since knight h5 is hanging. So the pawn is hanging. So now if you play rook ad8, for example, again same problem is here. I will take rook d8 after rook d8. Now knight h5. But here maybe this is what Fabiano is counting. Is there really compensation, because rook is coming to d2?
To the second.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, that it seems quite interesting. Let's see. Maybe he played. Yeah, king e7. He played. Now it's time for Grischuk to spend maybe half an hour to be closer to this to time trouble.
Yes.
His favorite part of the game. So we can also see other games from this match. I mean, let's see what is happening in games. In game Adams against Li Chao. Adams has again white pieces, and yesterday he had this tough game against Nakamura. It seems to me that Nakamura will at the end win game, but was not something what happened. This is now it seems that this is very interesting position. Li Chao is playing Petrov defense from time to time, but it's interesting for him that sometimes he's playing Petrov defense even on win. And let's see, we already saw this all moves, e4, e5, knight f3, knight f6, and the knight e5, d6. Exactly this position we could see in a game between Leko and Ivanchuk just some minutes ago. So knight c6, and now different choice by Adams. Usually queen d2 is main option here, and white wants to go to long castle, as we saw in the game Leko Ivanchuk. And here Adams chose the bishop d3. Actually, after queen d2, if you remember, bishop f5 was played by Ivanchuk, and it seems that Adams maybe wanted to stop it with bishop d3, bishop f6, queen e2, different setup from white. Queen e2, okay, trying to give check or force the black to go to castle, yes. To short castle. Queen e7, castle, bishop d7, rook g1, all normal moves. Queen f1. I think that Adams is better prepared in this game. Queen f1, bishop b6, bishop b5. He's playing quite fast this position, and bishop a7, knight f3. Let's see final position, gf3, bishop e5. in meantime, I mean, Black lost this pawn to on a5 on a7. I think it's not so easy to play b6. Somehow it's really connected with risk at some point, because okay, now he could try to play it move before, but I guess that bishop c6 would be winning. Yeah, queen a6. Yes. So yeah, it seems that after bishop e5 now White has clear pawn up, but let's see what he will do with this pawns on king side. Yeah. Also, I mean, it's funny to say this double f pawns and double c pawns. It's interesting, yeah. Yes. So, however, I think that Adams has some advantage here, and maybe this game will be crucial for today's match.
Not so big advantage, but it's
yeah. And now let's see just Wang Yu against Rajabov. This is for sure one more interesting game. So Wang Yu, Rajabov, it seems to me that this is very close to draw already. Knight f3, c5 against something very popular, c4, knight f6, knight c3, knight c6, basically the main line, in English opening symmetrical line, and so on. Now g3, interesting option by Wang Yu. Usually his teammate from the national team, he's playing d4, cd, knight d4, e6, a3. Buxianji is usually playing this line. However, g3, d5, and yeah, this position is not something promising for White. d4, e6, and basically cd, knight d5. Basically, they change all the pieces, and a long time, maybe 10 years ago, there was one article in New in Chess about this line. Maybe it's 10 or maybe 9 years ago. I think that it was played in one game by Grandmaster Jan Verle. So maybe he was even writing this article, I'm not so sure. However,
what he said in that article?
It's that White can press a little bit, but it's nothing, and it seems that
like
here...
equal position.
Yeah, it seems rook b8, b6. Okay, White has a little bit more space with this center, and maybe possibility to make some weakness on queen side, but it's nothing. I think bishop b2, f6 even doesn't. I don't like this bishop on b2, but okay. Rook fd1 and okay. Now I think that it's important decision for Teimur, because he has to decide whether he will keep king in center. Obviously, that here king e7 would be met maybe with e5, and Black is losing piece actually. Or it seems to me, no, he's not losing. Sorry, f5, the bishop c5. But even this looks now maybe some possibility with bishop a3 and rook c7. So he has to count now after this with the e5 break. Then I don't know. I mean, even the last position, if you play bishop a3, this seems very close to draw. Bishop g2, bishop c5, check, bc5. I guess king g2, and just this. I don't believe that Black is worse here. I mean, after having this pawn on c pawn, which is pass pawn here. Yes. So after rook fd1, king e7 looks like very normal idea. Is rook hc8, and of course it's just worth to say now that if White plays some move like f4, of course after rook hc8, rook c8, Black has to take with the bishop on c8, especially because we were rook c8 just e5, and after bishop g2 there is this intermediate move. There is rook c2 actually. Even this is not working. This will be interesting. Some pawn should be on f2. Yeah. So okay, but just possible ideas. King e7, and let's see, maybe he played already this move. No. And the last board in this match is actually game Mamedjarov against Korobov. This game should be also exciting. Yesterday Mamedjarov won against this very nice game against Bakro, and today we can see that yeah, it was domination, as Ivan said. So today's choice, knight c3, bishop b4, knight f3. Yeah, this is a variation which is called three knights variation into Indian. And it was popularized by Kasparov in beginning of 80s. There was one very nice win. I think Gary won against Petrosian, and later on it became main theory and so on. Of course, after b6, bishop g5 is something what Gary had played in that game.
Here can be one
one sacrifice.
Sacrifice later, like h6, bishop h4, g5.
Yeah, bishop g3.
Bishop g3, knight d4, and knight d2. But I don't know, is this in this moment or we have bishop b7, e3? You know, and
bishop
then
b7,
when
e3.
yes,
I guess.
Yes, and you take on c3, bc3, and
Yeah,
so on. So
yeah. You were telling us about basically this line.
yes.
e3, h6, bishop h4, g5, bishop g3, knight e4, and knight d2.
It's not necessary to play this move, but it's interesting.
Yeah, this is the
rook
position.
c1 and after h4 and
Yeah,
white
bishop
has
before
some
h4.
compensation for
Even I think that they are here putting bishop on a5.
on a5. Maybe it's
yeah, it's some
precise move, bishop a5.
However, Momejarov chose the queen c2, and now this is actually transposing to queen c2 line in IMSA India, and it's usually coming from queen c2. Queen c2, let's say castle, a3, bishop c3, queen c3, b6, and knight is coming to f3. And now after bishop b7, basically this is what happened in the game. Bishop b7, a3, bishop c3, queen c3, but now d6, yeah, this is more precise. Because after a castle, okay, anyway, Momejarov would play bishop g5, this is for sure. But here, black can actually hope sometimes to push h6, g5. It seems that this did not happen in the game because bishop g5, knight bd7, e3, castle, and knight d2. And okay, this is all theory. c5. I don't think that they played anything new. dc, bc, bishop d3. It's possible, but very dangerous to take on g2 because obviously that bishop g2, rook g1 is, let's say, already met. Maybe even with bishop h6, and black has problems.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah, h6, bishop h4, a5, castle, queen b6. This is typical setup for this variation, and usually here white are preferring to play f3 move, if I remember good, not e4 directly. Although I mean, let's believe to Momejarov, and let's see e4. He played very fast. d5, ed, cd, ed, rook e1, and let's see the final position. It seems somewhat better for white, although I'm not so sure that black
is enough for win.
Yeah, that this is enough for win. Rook e2 looks unpleasant, I mean, because it seems to me that this move is coming rook d1. And now it's...
Black has problem with the knight, where to go.
Now with knight and also with these 2 pawns, yeah.
Yes.
So now it's interesting, it will be interesting to see how Korobo will solve these problems. Yesterday he had this fast draw, and today it seems that he just got position which is unpleasant because it's played, it's just one-sided game. I'm not so sure even does the move like knight f6 in this particular position is working, because bishop c5 I have.
Take
yeah,
c5?
this seems to be problem.
And
Otherwise, it would be otherwise it would be very nice to have this maneuver. So there is bishop
maybe
c5
at
and then.
first play something like.
Yeah, but if black plays some move like queen a6, then I mean not just that I can just play rook a1, and now again I will take on
c4.
c4.
Queen a6. I thought maybe something like bishop c8, but then I am.
You mean rook c8?
Rook c8, sorry.
Yeah, but then.
But then my rook is not anymore on.
Yeah, and rook
a1
line, is basically coming.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, okay. It's let's see. Maybe he played some move. Yeah, a4 happened.
A4.
Yeah, okay. Black is basically fixing pawn on b2, and now he's hoping for best. He's hoping for best, which is actually draw, because I do not think that he can do that he can get something more here. For now, it seems that Siberia did not get really good positions. Lei Chao seems to have some problems. Korobov is just without any chance to win the game, while Wang Yu, and I mean he does not have so much in this endgame. Grishchuk is still he did not start to do anything special in this position. So before we go to another match, maybe just to shortly check what is happening on first board of soccer, since there is no lamp for Vladimir, and let's see if does it mean today anything for him, because he has very good score with white pieces against Topalov. Yeah, it seems to be. Many things happened in meantime. We stopped actually with 95. Castle was played by Topalov, and now Queen G4, this attacking idea with white pieces. F5, 20 minutes spent by Topalov. In many positions you can play exactly this move. It's very good defensive move, since it stops this attack on H7 forever. But the main problem is that because this knight stays on E5 and this square is weak.
This pawn on E6 also can be...
Yeah, exactly. There is E6 pawn, which is now possible to attack. Bishop F6, Bishop C4, Rook E6, Rook D1, Knight D7. Well, it does not look really optimistic for Topalov here. I mean, I'm not really happy with his position. Maybe some Bishop D5 is even like a radical move possible to play here. Now,
or something like Knight D5, Knight B5. No.
Yeah, okay, Knight B5 is also another option. Bishop B3 is possible. Knight D7, okay, like trying to take on E5 maybe at some point and try to hold position. But
I think he played
Bishop D2 or Knight B5. Knight B5. Yeah, it seems that that you have a good feeling for this position. Yeah. No, he played Bishop B5 actually.
Bishop B5.
Yeah, Bishop B5 looks extremely unpleasant here. I don't know what Topalov saw. Well, this looks wow, Bishop E5. We will wait just a second to get these 2-3 moves. I mean, because here on broadcast we cannot see it. I mean, but it seems that it was played Bishop E5, Bishop E5, D5, and now Topalov is thinking. With these two bishops. Okay, obviously that white does not threat so much now. I mean, but just he will stay with two bishops. Maybe pawn will come to F4, bishop to E3. It seems that we can expect some pressure from Vladimir. From Vladimir. Maybe Rook F8 actually is possible with idea Knight C5, or first just to put this A6 move. And to see now that, let's say that Bishop A4, but also this looks very unpleasant. Bishop C4 back, Knight C3, B C3, and now I mean this bishop also can come to D6, and yeah, I don't know, maybe like Queen C6 now, Queen C7 now. There are some ideas with Rook D6, but I guess that after Rook D6 even there are some contra, maybe attack or not. Knight E5 is not working. Yeah, maybe something like this is okay. Rook D7 is not working, and this would be very good for Veselin. But however, A6, maybe just like this. I mean, let's see, maybe Topalov played A6. No, he's thinking. But now it's time to check maybe Nakamura, Bashir, Bakroyan, this.
Let's check.
Yeah, and also players from domestic, from Macedonian team. Let's see now the game on third board between Nakamura and Yakovenko. Nakamura has white pieces, I think, and yeah, he is the highest rated player on this tournament. I mean, so we are still expecting to see something big from him. So C4, interesting choice by Nakamura, and Knight F6. Let's see what Knight F3, E6. Actually, this is a favorite. G3, B6 is favorite setup of Yakovenko, and he played one very interesting game, I think, on the last World Cup against Elyanov, and he lost that game, but his position was not so bad. He played some interesting line with knight on C6. Here, Queen D4, Bishop E7, and exactly okay here after castle. Castle is interesting option because usually Black prefers to play first d6 and then after bishop g5 to play a6, and now this line is possible to play like bishop f6, queen f4, and so on. At some point, black will take on f3 and so on. I think exactly that line that Yakovenko found something else, castle, and now after bishop g5, I think this happened in the game of Elyanov and against Yakovenko, and now instead of playing d6 and more or less getting to the same position, he played knight c6, I think, in this position, and here Elyanov opted for queen d2 and so on. Game was finished, as I said, as win of Pavel, but black was staying fine. So queen rook d1, interesting choice, d6, e4. Usually in these setups, white does not have anything concrete. So now basically, let's see what they played. All normal moves for hedgehog setup, and yeah, queen e2 ace. I don't think that Nakamura made some big problem for his opponent, but of course it's obvious that Nakamura is playing faster than his opponent. So let's see how Yakovenko will treat this setup, this hedgehog setup. Another game, of course, interesting is between Andreikin and Vachier Lagrave, who almost turned 55 years yesterday, according to me, but it was 25. I'm just joking. So yeah, it was my mistake yesterday. So let's see game between Andreikin and Vachier. Again, we have some interesting stuffs. It seems that knight f3 and c4 are really popular on these top boards today. Yeah.
Tournament on this top board.
Anyway, yeah, it's knight f3, c5. I don't know. Have you ever played what you were playing against knight f3 at black?
I'm playing d5, c6, bishop f5 or bishop g4, knight
so
f6,
ready setup.
Yes.
Yeah, so you would prefer d5 here. Yeah, c5 is.
I would like to know something else.
Yeah, okay.
That is what I know the best. So.
c5, c4, knight c6, knight c3, normal setup, and now e5. And here e3, interesting choice by Andreikin. g3 is basically main move here. And now g3, g6, bishop g2, bishop g7, castle, and after knight g7, now a3. And white is trying to push b4 and so on. And also this is a recommendation in the book of Mikhail Marin in English opening, and actually it's quite popular today. Also another choice is e3, with idea just to play d4 now. Knight f6, bishop e2. This is all normal, d5, d4, and now cd, ed, e4. Probably this is a better option than to play ed4, because usually this was main line a long time ago. ed4, bishop e6, cd5, knight d5, castle, bishop e7, dc5, knight c3, bc3, queen d1, rook d1, bishop c5, and now knight g5. And this was the one of the lines, if I remember well. And the main idea for white is actually to take on e6, and I think at some point after some normal move like castle, at some point white plays king f1, but maybe I just mixed up also the position, so maybe there are some extra moves like rook b1 or something. But okay, cd4, of course, it's much more dynamic line, and it's just dc4, knight c6, bc6, castle, bishop d6. If I see well, on ninth move, Andreikin spent 29 minutes, 29, and 23 minutes was spent on 10th move by Vachier Lagrave. So maybe they don't know really good this line. Bishop g5, bishop f5, bishop c4, h6. Vachier is walking, or no, this was Pelletier, yeah.
If they don't know this line, like.
Yeah, so let's see what will happen here. After h6 now, Andreikin has to decide whether he will put bishop on h4 or he will take on f6 and try to do something against pawn on e4, like rook e1 or something similar. So we'll see what is happening, what will happen there, and let's see game between Bakro and Krivoručko. Today Bakro has white pieces, and I think that he's eager to win game and make comeback after yesterday's painful loss. I think against
it was very painful.
Yeah, against Mamejaro. So d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight f3, b6, g3, bishop b7, bishop g2, bishop e7. Krivoručko in one game here he played bishop b4 check. Exactly when they had match against Austrian team against Maria Sal, and he did not. I think he could not win this game. Maybe I just made also mistake. Maybe this was not in this match, but okay. Bishop g2, bishop e7, classical choice. Most of the time, Yuri is playing exactly this line. So castle, castle, rook e1. Most popular answer on the highest level. Another move is knight c3, but as we said before, the idea will be knight c4. Yeah.
But I think in women's section, no?
Yeah. In women's section yesterday, there was a game between Yavakashvili and I cannot remember who played with the black pieces. Rook e1, knight a6 was basically played in that game. But today Krivoručko chose d5, which is considered to be like a direct answer against rook e1. cd, ed, knight c3. This is all theory again. Knight bd7, bishop f4, c5. Well-known theory actually. Knight d4, knight c3, rook c3, bishop f6. It seems that both of the players were prepared, and now rook c2. 18 minutes spent by Bakro, but I think that he was actually remembering the line here, since Etienne is extremely well prepared, and also, I mean, this kind of positions he is playing really well with white pieces. So let's see, queen d7, b4, bishop d4, queen d4, knight d6, queen d3, nice move. Knight f4, gf4 is not really something which too black, yeah, because I mean, now you cannot push d4, and also rook c1. We don't have so many pieces on the board that you would try to do something. So queen d3, d4, actually I would also prefer this move, because knight on e6 seems to be, for now at least, more active than this bishop on f4, since bishop on f4 is not doing so much stuff on this diagonal. d4, bishop b7, queen b7, bishop d2, and let's see just final position. Rook fd8, rook e c1, queen d5, f3,
I like
g6.
this position for black.
They played also a couple of moves. So after f3, g6, e4 happened, and now d, queen d5, rook d5, bishop e3. I think black should be able to hold this position, but of course possible endgames can be really unpleasant. Some endgame he has to be careful, because now bishop h6 is also one unpleasant threat. And let's see what Yuri will do in this. Okay, only white can play on win. I mean, king f2 will be played, and maybe a4, and b5. Also slight problem for black are these 2 pawns. I mean, because yeah, exactly. Bishop is attacking, and possible ideas with a4, a5. Knight on e6 is a really nice piece. I mean, but it's just working this defensive stuffs. It's not really something. For now, there is nothing to do in attack, and also, I mean, I think Bakro is today playing on safe, and Krivoručko should be really cautious, because it can be some problems here for him. So let's see now the last board in this match: Vokaturo against Yu Yanggi. Yu Yanggi has white pieces in this game, and let's see what they played. Yeah, they played actually one of the most popular lines in Rai Lopez, especially this knight c3 is played many times by Dominguez Perez. We were actually saying something a little bit in previous days about this line, but this 6a3, and okay, here black has a couple of options. One is knight a5. Second option is actually what is played in the game, bishop g4. bishop e3 and knight a5. This is actually new, I can say like a different plan, because main move is actually knight d4, bishop d4, e d4, and now white plays knight d5 move, knight d7 and h3, bishop f3, queen f3, and now okay c6, and basically here white has two options, either to play knight f4 like it was played by Dominguez Perez in past and so on, or to take on e7, which is maybe even more dangerous choice. And after knight e7, queen e7, queen g3, and now white is slowly preparing f4, f5. On other side, of course, black has always chances to get contraplay with knight c5 and possible knight a4, a5, b4. So, however, Vocaturo played knight a5 quite fast, bishop a2, c5, knight d5. This position is slightly better for white, knight c6, c3. Vocaturo can be in some trouble here. b4 with the strong bishop on d5 and just more flexible structure. White has just slight advantage, but h3, bishop d7, queen b3, bishop f6.
Space
Yeah, this is typical move, bishop f6. I mean, black is preparing knight e7 reaction. So let's see, maybe they play a couple of, after bishop f6 actually Yu Yang is on the move, but it's
what
it
do you
seems
think
that
what he will play?
okay, now it's questionable whether I can take on c5 really or not, because I guess this move is possible. For example, bc5, you play knight a5, or you cannot play knight a5 since cd6, so dc5, bishop c5, knight a5, and now I have this defensive move, queen b4, queen c5, queen a5, and let's see, for example, queen c3, queen a6, queen d3, but I don't like this position for black because I can play a4 move, and actually I'll push a5. I want to push this pawn, and if pawn comes to a5, this will be...
okay.
Now queen is pinned, you cannot play rook a8, and I don't have so many ideas, because even some tactical idea with bishop h3.
I thought you have knight e1 on bishop.
Yeah, on bishop h3, not just that knight e1.
Oh,
even if I would just miss this knight e1, which is very nice move to take gh3, of course. It's very nice. Okay, knight e1, maybe queen c3, then it's hanging here, but still a b5 with tempo and b pawn, it will be promoted basically into queen. This should be just winning position for white. But even if I don't do that, if I just queen b5, if I take here and make this tempo queen b5, a b5, this looks very bad. b6, b7, and
this pawn will be promoted.
So I don't see really after queen a5, queen c3, queen a6 how Vocaturo wants to react, or how he wants to save, I mean, to take back pawn, because for me, here it seems that after b, c, d, c, bishop c5, knight a5, queen b4, I don't see any, maybe rook e8, but I mean, rook e8 is just, after bishop d6, I have just clear pawn up, and second pawn is hanging, I mean, and this is for sure not option. So queen c5, queen a5, yeah. Maybe Vocaturo actually blundered move a4, and I think that this looks very bad for black after a4.
It looks like
like a big deal now, because really after rook b8, I mean, with some idea maybe to put to play bishop c8, and then later on, if just I play a5, everything is extremely good for white. I mean, I didn't even now taking into consideration normal moves like rook fd1, where you will go with the queen and so on. Just if I play what I want, just this a5, and I just promote a pawn.
It's easy position to play with white. Every pieces are
exactly.
Everything.
Exactly, it looks.
A pawn is very dangerous.
So so
we will see later what
happened.
Yes, Vocaturo play.
Yeah. So Yu Yang on the move, and maybe really this bc5 is some big deal here, and if this happens,
probably calculating.
If this happens, then in very easy it will be 1-0. I mean, and this is not so good
maybe we
for the
missed
match.
Something.
Yeah, for sure, for sure we are missing something, because when you are in a game, you are more concentrated and more concerned about your position.
Just game from game.
We can make mistakes.
Yes.
And before we go to women's section, I just think we can check one more time game between Gusenov and Christiansen, because
And
it
after
was
we can
everywhere.
check Kramnik Topalov.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah.
the most interesting
Yeah, let's
case
just
today. So.
yeah, let's just see if this does not look good for black. I think that Johann Sebastian is in big trouble here. King f7. This looks like after rook e1. I mean,
Q1 and H4.
no, but
H5.
even knight d6 looks like winning. I mean, in my opinion, knight d6 looks very close to winning. I mean, you will take queen d6, of course, but this is after rook d6, bishop d6, just check. I mean, and king e7, I go here, rook e1. I mean, it looks quite bad for black. I mean, I don't think that the young Norwegian will save this game. I mean, it looks that Gusenov was slightly more prepared, because after king g2 in this position, Johann Sebastian spent a lot of time on next two moves, and it seems that Gusenov is playing everything, every move like using at least
some temp or something.
Yeah, some 2 to 5 minutes, not so much. And let's see, maybe this looks like bad for now, but we'll see. Again, Johann Sebastian is very player who likes to play on tactical tricks and so on. Maybe he has something in his pocket. So
maybe he's
and
better
it's
when
not
he's
it's not the
attacking,
phone.
and now
Yeah.
he is defending his position.
Yeah.
So
Let's see just slowly that it seems that the Giri finished game already with Aronian.
made a draw.
Well, this is wow, they played
40
extremely
moves.
fast. Yeah, this was like 40 moves really. Yeah, this is let's see, after knight c4, c6, not so many. C3, knight d5 actually looks a nice idea for black. Knight defensive idea. Now I want to put bishop on e6 with the black pieces, and if I reach this bishop e6, really there should not be any problems. Knight on d5 is quite good, since knight to d5 is actually stopping bishop to come to f4. This is not possible since knight is controlling it. So c3, knight d5, bishop d5, c d5, knight e3. Of course, I do not believe that after rook d5, bishop e6, black should be worse with two bishops. It's and also it's well-known position for Aronian, because I mean he's playing martial attack in Ray Lopez, and he's always bound down and trying to save the game with the bishop pair. And usually
So
he
he
succeeds.
likes to play with.
He likes to sacrifice. We know this. And bishop c5, knight d5, bishop g4, rook e1, rook f d8. Really, it seems that Aronian played extremely fast this game. c4, bishop f3, and black is bound down, but he has equality because this bishop on f3 is a really, really strong one. And bishop g5 happened, rook d7. It seems not so exciting game after h4, h6. They just exchange many things, and finally b5, and okay, just exchanging and playing until 14th move. Yeah. So this is, I think, in the beginning. First of all, this is not good sign for soccer, because they gave white pieces, I mean, here, and it seems that Topalov is also in some trouble, but we will see all of this after a short break, 5 minutes, so we'll be here with you.